Go ahead, Mayor.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Peterson.
Here.
Councilwoman Scavage.
Here.
Councilman Zazali.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Masseri.
Here.
Mayor Miga.
Here. Please rise for the flag salute.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting was duly provided to the Verona Cedar Grove Times and the Star Ledger by email and published in an annual schedule of meetings on December 12th, 2024, filed with the Township Clerk, and posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building lobby in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. All right, good evening, everyone. Item 2A. To consider approval of minutes of our regular public meeting, October 6, 2025. May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson.
Abstain.
Councilwoman Scavage.
Yes.
Councilman Zazali.
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor Masseri.
Yes.
Mayor Miga.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 3, the meeting is open to residents of the township wishing to be heard on any any item on the agenda. Seeing no one, this portion of the meeting is closed. Item 4, reports of township officials. Mr. Zakelli, our
Good evening,
township
Mayor.
manager.
Good evening.
Good evening.
A few brief items, and I do have some items through the agenda to comment on. First, I want to let the council know and the public that the tree lighting ceremony will be taking place on Friday, December 5th at 6 p.m. There'll be a DJ, photo booth, balloon artist, gingerbread bounce house, and a slide, a soldier and elf stilt walkers, trainless train ride, giveaways, and more. We hope to see the public there. That's at Community Park on Friday, December 5th at 6 p.m. I want to let the council know that I did begin the 2026 budgeting process already. I've already sent out the memos to the department heads with their responses due back in the middle of November for us to have a one-on-one meeting. I will then go through their requests, and then I will aggregate some other departments that are more statutory in nature. Once that's done, I will hopefully have a nearly complete appropriation side, not the revenues, but the appropriation side, which I will be presenting at the January 27th council meeting. That's a regularly scheduled staff meeting, but that will begin at 5 p.m. because the department heads will be coming at 5 p.m. that day to present the budget to the mayor and council. We're going to do all the departments in one day like we did last year. With Edmunds and with it being digital, it's a lot more streamlined now, and I think that'll be a little bit more efficient for the staff to present and for the council to get the data. So unless there's any objections, my plan is to do it at that staff meeting and not have a separate special meeting. Any questions on that?
No.
Our last paving operation of the year is taking place today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday on Devonshire Road and Devonshire Road South. The milling operations begun today. They'll continue tomorrow. They're going to take a break on Wednesday, and then the road will be paved Thursday and Friday, and then that will complete our paving. This is through an NJDOT reconstruction grant. And just on the roads in general, I had the town put up a post today. As the council and the public is aware, DPW works very hard picking up the leaves throughout town, and we kindly ask the residents to remove their basketball hoops if they are at the curb or in the street. It makes it hard for the dump truck and the leaf tag to actually remove the leaves in the roadway. So just pull it back on the lawn or into your driveway for the time being, and we'll greatly appreciate it. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Thank you,
Any
Mayor,
report?
members of council. I have a few remarks, and then I have a couple items to address under new business. But first, I know we're all excited. Tomorrow is Election Day, General Election Day, and all polling locations will be open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. For District 2 residents, a lot of them have been calling me asking if they can enter that beautiful structure we know as the Northern Firehouse. And unfortunately, I had to let them know that it's not officially open, but it will be one of the polling locations come next year. And that's all that I have for that, Madam
Thank you.
Mayor.
Mr. Lagana, good evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor,
members of council. I don't have a formal report this evening. I do have some comments under the executive session.
Okay.
Do you for potential litigation?
Correct.
Okay. Councilwoman Peterson.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
I just want to touch upon the reopening of the library that we had this past Saturday. To the residents who were able to make it, thank you. And for the residents who are listening here tonight, the library was renovated. It looks beautiful. We had a really nice event. I wanted to thank the Friends of the Library for all that they did. They did a tremendous amount of work putting together that grand reopening event this past Saturday, as well as the board did a lot of work as well. And our special readers, our first reader, the mayor. Our second reader was Officer Powell,
Yep.
right? He did a great job. And then Miss Marion, who is a retired first grade teacher in Cedar Grove. So it was really cute. It was an all-day affair. There was a lot of different stations with information of going-ons in the library.
Yeah.
The Friends of the Library, again, please follow them on social media. They are doing a brick drive fundraiser where they're going to be selling bricks that you can put your name on, and it's going to line the walk up to the library. So please keep an eye out for that and support all of the events that they did. All the money goes to future renovations in the library, such as the children's section, which is we're raising money to do next. So that's it. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Councilman Zazali.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, everyone. Mayor, I also attended the opening of the library, and not to repeat, but what Councilwoman Peterson said, it was a nice event, and it's a nice facility for the township, and the project I think was a success. It's very nice, and I also I had a chance to go up to Park Ridge Estates, and I was driving on Eileen Drive. And in that area, and there's a lot of paving that was done up there, as you all know. But it came out very nice, and it's
Great.
another asset to the town. So that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Skavish.
Hi, good
How are you?
evening.
Good evening.
Two quick things. The first was just a congratulations to Marisa Landolfi and everyone involved in putting Real Panthers Wear Pink together. It was a blustery night, and they still had a fantastic turnout. So that was really a nice example of the community coming together and supporting the great cause that is Manette's Angels. So just wanted to note that was a job well done. And then another kudos to our friends at the community garden and the Historical Society. I saw that they donated surplus produce items that were grown at the farm to the Sushi food pantry here in town on Commerce Road. I thought that was a really nice gesture on their behalf, and I think a lot of folks don't know that even exists here in town. I certainly didn't until I was there a couple of years ago, visiting the folks over there. So it is a great resource for the community, for anyone who may be in need of extra food. They do have a food pantry there that is very active. If I remember correctly, they serve over 500 people a week, I believe is the number they told me. So just really nice things happening here in town, and it's especially nice to see during a time when there might not be such nice news on the national and global front. So good things happening in Cedar Grove. That's
Thank
it
you.
tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Deputy Mayor.
Good evening, Mayor. Just to comment on new business, we have an ordinance that we're going to introduce tonight regarding this amendment to our flood board, and we're inviting Little Falls and Willow Park to join with Verona and Cedar Grove. We had a flood board meeting on October 16th. It was kind of like a workshop meeting. We discussed the two towns joining. They were here. It seems like everybody's interested, and I know that this form of ordinance has also gone to Verona, and I believe Little Falls and Willow Park are working on it as well. Now, in order for this to happen, it's not just our ordinance, everybody has to approve it. So
I don't know if Verona has in fact passed it yet, but I know it's something that they were putting on their agenda. So certainly it's something that I think is beneficial for the town and for the 4 towns, and I certainly support the ordinance. I had the opportunity to sit on the original flood board when it was Cedar Grove, Little Falls, and Woodland Park, and I can tell you that because the 3 towns are working together as a cooperative, we were able to get grants, and we're hoping to do the same again. The meetings are open to the public, the flood board meetings are open to the public, and we do meet quarterly. So at the next meeting, I'll provide the meeting date and where we're gonna meet, because I think that's still not finalized, so we'll get that for the next meeting. That's all I had, Mayor.
Very good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And I just have a brief update that the Historical Society asked me to share. They wanted to have me thank everyone for the wonderful support and turnout at their pumpkin and apple sale, and that they're happy to announce a new fundraiser. It's a locally grown poinsettia fundraiser. They're grown in Hackettstown, New Jersey, and they're available in different colors, but you can get more information on their website, which is cedargrovehistoricalsociety.com. And they also wanted me to let you know there are historic house tours that they will once again be participating in the Essex County house tours on December 6th and 7th from 1 to 4. The county does this every year. It's the local historical societies, the local that want to join, have the volunteers to support it. But see, we're lucky that Cedar Grove does, so that's December 6th and 7th if you want to go and take a visit. It'll be very nicely decorated. And that is it for me. Okay. Okay, item, consent agenda, I'm gonna read these all together, and then we're just gonna take one vote, okay? So we're gonna go 5A is to consider resolution concerning approval of raffle applications for St. Catherine of Siena. 5B, to consider resolution reappointing members to the Cable TV Committee. 5C, to consider resolution reappointing members to the Planning Board. 5D, to consider resolution reappointing members to the Environmental Commission. 5E, to consider resolution reappointing members to the Recreation Advisory Board. And 5F, to consider resolution appointing members to the Essex County Solid Waste Advisory Council. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes. Under new business, 6A, to consider reintroduction of pending ordinance 25-954, an ordinance amending Chapter 72 of the Code of the Township of Cedar Grove entitled Verona Cedar Grove Flood Control Advisory Board. Mr. Zaccali, do you have anything?
Mayor, I have no comments. Deputy Mayor Misery eloquently advised what this ordinance amendment would be doing.
Okay. Thank you. May I have a motion then?
Mayor, I move for the introduction of pending ordinance 25954 to be published in full in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a pending ordinance with public hearing scheduled for December 8th, 2025.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes. 6B, to consider introduction of pending ordinance 25-955, an ordinance setting the 2026 maximum allowable rent increase pursuant to Chapter 208 of the Code of the Township of Cedar Grove. Township Clerk, do you have anything you would like to report and add?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Based on this year's CPI for the months of July through September, pending ordinance number 25-955 sets the maximum allowable rent increase at 3.6% for 2026. Second reading and adoption will occur on December 8th. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Mayor, I move for the introduction of pending ordinance number 25-955 to be published in full in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a pending ordinance with a public hearing scheduled for December 8th, 2025.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes.
you.
6C, to consider introduction of pending ordinance 25-956, an ordinance amending Chapter 230, Article 7, Sections 52, 53, and 55 of the Code of the Township of Cedar Grove, entitled Outdoor Sidewalk Cafe. Township Clerk, do you have anything you would like to add to this?
Yes, Mayor. In 2024, Governor Murphy signed legislation, Senate Bill 3608, Assembly Bill 4866, making New Jersey's temporary outdoor dining permissions permanent. They were temporary based on COVID-19. That's when it came into effect originally. Our equivalent to that outdoor dining permit is known as the Outdoor Sidewalk Cafe License. And we needed to update Chapter 230, Article 7, and the Sections 52, 53, and 55 regarding the licensing terms and conditions, regulations, and enforcement. Initially, licenses ran from April to October. Now they'll run annually, and they have to be renewed upon expiration. The $100 fee remains the same, and this is just a little housekeeping that we're doing to keep up with the times. Second reading and adoption will occur on December 8th.
Thank you.
Mhm.
May I have a motion?
Mayor, I move for the introduction of pending ordinance number 25-956 to be published in full in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a pending ordinance with a public hearing scheduled for December 8th, 2025.
Thank you. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Mika?
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 6D, to consider introduction of pending ordinance 25-957, an ordinance amending Chapter 228 of the Code of the Township of Cedar Grove entitled Stormwater Control. Mr. Zakelli? Do you
Yes,
have
Mayor,
anything to
thank you.
report on that?
This is an ordinance amendment that will implement new requirements for design standards in major developments, specifically that any overflow and discharge pipe shall be a minimum of 5 feet away from any property line unless directly connected into the municipality's stormwater management system. An additional requirement is also added for minor developments, which now requires that drawings be signed and sealed by a professional engineer, that the stormwater system proposed is adequate to capture any runoff needs, and that the location of an overflow pipe or discharge pipe will be a minimum of 4 feet from any property unless directly connected to the municipality's stormwater management system. This ordinance amendment also adds the requirement for the township engineer to review and approve any soil permeability testing results before the stormwater system is installed. This ensures that there's a proper percolation rate, which is sufficient, and that each stormwater system will now be required to be transferred by deed to any property owner as part of the MS4 stormwater permit. The property owners who do have stormwater systems on their lot have to maintain it and provide an annual report to the township. This means that if someone were to sell their house, the burden to report the maintenance of that stormwater system runs to the new owner, and they have to submit those reports to the township. This is for rather large detention basins, seepage pits, very large stormwater systems in place.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion?
Mayor, I move for introduction of pending ordinance 25-957 to be published in full in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a pending ordinance with a public hearing scheduled for December 8th, 2025.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Mika?
Yes. 6E, to consider introduction of pending ordinance 25-958, an ordinance amending Chapter 244 of the Code of the Township of Cedar Grove entitled Towing. Mr. Zakelli, do you have anything?
Yes,
to
Mayor,
add?
this three basic amendments to this ordinance in this introduction. Number one is that the licensing, which was previously established as a minimum of 2 with a maximum of 3 licenses being issued, will now be changed from a minimum of 2 to a maximum of 4 licenses available for issue. The ordinance also expands the term of the license from 1 year to 3 years to the awarded applicant. And also there's a new provision that says any of the tow operators in the township, in the event of an emergency as determined by the Office of Emergency Management, they will have to tow the vehicles for $65, which is a reduced rate compared to what they would have been towing if the ordinance were in place without this provision. Again, like the clerk said for the prior ordinance, this is just some housekeeping to clean up some language in the ordinance.
Okay. Thank you for that. May I have a motion?
Mayor, I move for introduction of pending ordinance 25958 to be published in full in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as pending ordinance with public hearing scheduled for December 8, 2025.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes. 6F, to consider introduction of pending ordinance 25-959, an ordinance amending Chapter 251 of the Code of the Township of Cedar Grove entitled Vehicles and Traffic. Mr. Zakelli, would you like to add?
Yes, Mayor, I do have a long explanation on this one. I owe a very special thank you to the township engineer and to Chief Pumphrey and Officer Grauer. They put a lot of time and effort into this. For years, a lot of the traffic controls in the township were not codified by ordinance. And it's not necessarily uncommon to see that, especially in developments that were at one point private, that the township then assumes ownership of, such as the Park Ridge Estates development, which is where the majority of this cleanup language comes from. As I indicated, this was a painstakingly detailed analysis of the provisions of the existing code, and they are now with this amendment bringing up the current standards to be, more accurately reflective of what the roadway standards are. As you indicated, Mayor, this is an amendment to Chapter 251 of the code entitled Vehicles and Traffic. This ordinance, to sum it up, provides a lot of cleanup language to the code that was previously missing or lacking. Two notable additions include an all-way stop at Bruce and Bowden, which will be implemented to assist with controlling the right-of-way assignment at that intersection. Another one would be making the upper portion of Bordick Road from Route 23's curb line 65 feet thereafter as a one-way road, which means vehicles will no longer be able to turn off of Route 23 onto Bordick Road. You can exit Bordick to 23, but not the other way around, while still preserving the right for the residents to go both ways on Bordick Road without making it a one-way entirely. This ordinance also formally codifies stop signs and yield marks at dozens of intersections throughout the township, where they existed in practice but were never actually codified in the code. There are some parking amendments to this as well, especially on Birch Road, where we will be flipping the side of parking from, I believe, the east to the west. By flipping that, there's actually more parking available on the other side, and it takes it away from the intersection and from areas where there are no sidewalks for children to cross. And one final amendment in here, which also I will discuss later on in the agenda, is reducing the speed limit on Ridge Road from 40 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour. This is a county road. This is something that we would have to do. The county requested we do via ordinance and resolution so that they could make the proper amendments. Little Falls and Passaic County reduced the speed on their portion of Ridge Road, so it only makes sense now for us too, so we don't create a speed trap, because if they reduce it and we don't, then it's a trap for the residents to drive. So we're going to be reducing the speed on Ridge Road by this ordinance as well.
Great. Thank you so much. May I have a motion?
Mayor, I move for introduction of pending ordinance number 25-959 to be published in full in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a pending ordinance with a public hearing scheduled for December 8th, 2025.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes. Item 6G, to consider introduction of pending ordinance 25-960, an ordinance amending Chapter 268 of the Code of the Township of Cedar Grove entitled Zoning. Mr. Zakelli?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Through you, this is a chapter of the code that I've lived in for the majority of my adult life, and I do owe another acknowledgement to our township engineer, Alexandra Handel, who worked very diligently on this. As the governing body is aware, not only is Lexi the township engineer, she's also the planning and zoning board engineer and reviews all of the applications. I think the good majority of the council has had the pleasure of dealing with her before the council, and some Councilman Zazali, with the planning board as well. And this ordinance cleans up a lot of language in the code. One of the biggest things with zoning codes, you want to try to avoid any vagueness or ambiguity. I'm going to go through some specifics in here just for the public's edification. This ordinance, upon adoption, will make a requirement for an applicant to go before the planning board just for a change in use. And one of the reasons that this is included is even if it's a permitted use in the existing zone, the use may be intensified and site plan review may be needed to address parking needs or lighting needs, things that are typically within a site plan review for the planning board. Currently, there's no provision that if you are in an existing zone and you just change a use, there's no necessity to trigger going before the board for a site plan. That will now eliminate that. Importantly, this is not a use variance, which requires 5 affirmative votes by the zoning board. This is just a site plan review for a change in use. There's a lot of definitional change and cleanups to a lot of the zoning words in here. Things from lot area to setbacks. Setbacks properly defined now as going from the property line to the furthest point of the structure, not the street line, right? There's been a lot of ambiguity in determining that in prior applications. This cleans that up. The ordinance amendment also requires retaining walls to be 2 feet away from a property line, and any wall over 4 feet tall be signed and sealed by a licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. Another important revision, the biggest revision of this, I would say, is regarding section 11, which is the steep slope provision of the zoning code. For lots with 15 to 19.99% of a slope, the applicant can disturb no more than 30% of the area. For lots with 20 to 24.99% of the slope, the applicant can disturb no more than 10% of the area. And for lots with a 25% slope or greater, the applicant's not permitted to disturb the sloped area. In addition to this, if there were any disturbances to the sloped area under the other 2 categories, there must be a reduction in impervious surface coverage. Again, we're trying to mitigate runoff, we're trying to mitigate stormwater issues, and that's the logic behind this. There's a whole host of design and application requirements, which are now enumerated within the ordinance, which goes to speak to the steep slope requirements with the application, what the engineer of the applicant is going to have to show, and what the proofs before the board are. And I think that's important for the board to know. I think it's important for the applicant to know, and that this is a pretty regularly relied upon provision of the code that now offers a lot more clarification. This also just finally adds that zoning permits shall be issued whenever there's a change of occupancy in commercial ownership. This goes back to the site plan review, and there's a checklist that Lexi has created that is now codified in the ordinance for any minor or major development applications. While this is an introductory ordinance before the governing body, NJSA 40:55D-64 does require that the planning board provide comment on this to make sure it's consistent with the master plan. If the governing body chooses to introduce this tonight, it'll be sent to the planning board for comment, and at that point, if there are no comments, it'll be adopted at the December 8th meeting. Any questions?
Wow. Anybody have any questions?
I do have one comment.
Yeah.
Second page under, I'm sorry. There was one alteration. The long ordinance. Just before the roll call, Dale, page 8, that 95 days should be 120.
Okay.
Good catch.
I believe it was changed elsewhere.
Should have been.
Um, I think that's where it
I think
was.
it's just one spot.
That was
Yeah.
correct, yeah. That's the only comment I have.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? May I have a motion?
I'll do it. Mayor, I move for the introduction of pending ordinance number 25-960 to be published in full in the Verona Cedar Grove Times as a pending ordinance with a public hearing scheduled for December 8th, 2025.
With amendment, Councilwoman Scavenge? With
I'm sorry.
amendment? With the
Oh,
amendment?
with
The
the,
attorney's
yeah,
amendment.
with the attorney's amendment, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second, please.
Second?
Roll call.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Meegan?
Yes. 6H, to consider resolution authorizing the transfer of funds. Mr. Zakeli?
Yeah, Mayor, this is something that we do every year, and then you'll see it again probably in the December meeting, under NJSA 40A:4-58 and 4-59, in the last 2 months of a calendar year and the first 3 months of the next calendar year, governing body may transfer funds within the appropriation lines of any municipal budget. This resolution authorizes the transfer of $36,000 from police S&W to recreation youth tennis to municipal elections and recreation part-time S&W respectively. I do anticipate a few more coming in the December meeting as we wind down our appropriations for the fiscal year.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes. 6I, to consider resolution authorizing change order number 1 from Stanzali Construction LLC of East Orange, New Jersey, for the reconstruction of Devonshire Road and Devonshire Road South, reflecting an overall increase of $2,800. Mr. Zakelli?
Mr. Mayor, this is change order 1, and I believe to be the last one, for a reconstruction of Devonshire Road and Devonshire Road South. The amount is $2,800, or 1.06% of the total contract value. This is due to the need to construct a very small retaining wall within our right-of-way, given the changes we made to the sidewalks in the area. This amends the overall contract value from $261,702.70 to $264,507.70. I do remind the council that this is being paid for by a $350,000 NJDOT grant.
Thank you. May I have a motion, please?
So
So-
moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Excuse me, Councilwoman Peterson? I
Yes.
apologize.
That's okay.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes. Item 6J, to consider resolution in authorizing increase of the 2024 professional service contract with Suburban Consulting Engineers of 96 US number 101, Flanders, New Jersey 07836, for the provision of professional land surveying and engineering design services for the reconstruction of Devonshire Road and Devonshire Road South in the amount of $8,000. Mr. Zakelli?
Yeah, Mayor, due to the field modifications that occurred during the work, additional inspections will be required. This will bring the revised total of the contract amount up to $47,450. And I also want to remind the council that 15% of all engineering-related costs are reimbursable by the state DOT grant.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes. Item 6K, to consider resolution concerning speed limits on County Road 641, which is Ridge Road, and County Road 639, which is Grove Avenue. Mr. Zakelli?
Yeah, Mayor, we are reducing, as I indicated, speed on Ridge from 40 miles per hour to 35, and formally codifying the speed on Grove Avenue to 30 miles per hour. This is a county road. We will be sending them a copy of this resolution and the adopted ordinance, so that way they can make the changes. And I do plan on using this to continue petitioning the governing body in the County of Essex to aid in the pedestrian safety initiatives on Rugby Road and Ridge Road, County Road. We can't unilaterally go and do anything to their roadway, but hopefully with our good relationship with the County of Essex, we'll be able to facilitate some improvements in '26.
Very good, thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scavenge?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes. Item 6L, to consider resolution authorizing execution of use and operating agreement with the North End Fire Company Number 2. Mr. Zakelli?
Mayor, this is a very exciting one. On August 7th, 2023, the governing body enacted Ordinance 23915, which pursuant to the local lands and building law allowed us to purchase the property at the North End Firehouse. That same ordinance authorized then Mayor Peterson to execute this agreement. the project took a little bit longer than Mayor Peterson's term as mayor. So this resolution is authorizing you as the mayor to execute that agreement that was technically already authorized to be executed from the ordinance. But hopefully, once you execute this agreement, Mayor, we send it over and we're done.
Excellent. Well, may I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scabbage?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes.
Mayor, before we move on to new
Yes.
business, I'm going to reopen G for a second. The comment that I made regarding the time period, the time period is actually correct. I don't know why it was being changed from planning to zoning there, because I'm reading the code now, and these are conditional use approvals. So when we have a conditional use, that all of the elements of the conditions are met, it goes to planning board. And that's a 95-day time period for the board to hear those applications. When somebody doesn't meet all of the criteria, then it becomes a conditional use variance. That goes to the zoning board, and you have 120 days. Reading 268-33A, it seems to be the procedure when all of the conditions are met, and it goes to planning board on a 95-day time period. So the 95 days was correct. Sorry for the long explanation.
You got it.
But planning should remain as the planning board as being the proper jurisdiction and not the zoning board. So the amendment is to remove zoning and retain planning.
Do you need a
Do we have to
second motion
re-vote on
now?
that?
Yes, I would ask for a new motion on G with my comment.
Okay, so 6G, do I need to read it again?
So it should be
Yeah,
95 days, and it
I
should
move for
be
introduction of pending ordinance 25958 to be published in full in Verona Cedar Grove Times as a pending ordinance with public hearing scheduled for December 8th with the new amendment.
So I don't think it's 5-8.
That's
5-8
the
is
one
still
over.
in.
Was
It's
it
G.
59?
Uh, 60,
260.
960.
960.
960, my apologies. 960, 25-960, with amendment.
I'll second
Do I have a
that.
second? Okay. And roll call, please.
Sure. Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scabbage?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Moving on to item 7, approval of bills. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Be it resolved by the Township of Cedar Grove, County of Essex, New Jersey, that the summary of bills having been duly audited and found to be correct are hereby ordered paid in the aggregated amount of $406,495.48.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Scabbage?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Misery?
Yes.
Mayor Miga?
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 8, the meeting is open to residents of the township wishing to be heard on any item on or off the agenda concerning township business. Is there anyone wishing to be heard? Seeing none, I close that portion of the meeting. We are going to go into exec for potential litigation. And may I have an adjournment?
Mayor, you need
Mayor,
to read the resolution.
Oh, yes, wait. Dale even told me that. Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting of the mayor and council in certain circumstances. Whereas the mayor and council of the Township of Cedar Grove are of the opinion that such circumstances now exist. Now therefore, be it resolved by mayor and council of the Township of Cedar Grove, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that the public shall be excluded from discussion of any action on the executive session of the meeting of mayor and council, and the general nature of the subject matters to be discussed are potential litigation. It is anticipated at this time that the above stated subject matter will be made public as soon thereafter as it is deemed in the public interest to do so. No further action will be taken, and this resolution shall take effect immediately. Motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes. Have a good
Councilwoman
night.
Scabbage?
Yes.
Councilman Zazali?
Yes.